Elderly people who live past the age of 75 often work during the period between 65 and 75. Those who love life and care for themselves always pay attention to a beautiful and healthy lifestyle so that their later years are fulfilling. Dear friends, as you enter the age of 65 to 75, elderly people often believe they are enjoying a leisurely phase of life. However, few realize that familiar habits may silently shorten their lifespan. Small daily activities can sometimes become the reasons for declining health, making life more challenging in old age. There is nothing more precious than knowing how to take care of one's health and relying on oneself, as even dutiful children have their own lives and cannot always be there to care for you. As the saying goes, taking care of your health and being self-reliant is the greatest asset of old age, because when we are self-sufficient, we not only live healthier but also maintain our independence and freedom. So how can we avoid these harmful habits and live longer? Let's explore the habits that the elderly often fall into without realizing they are shortening their remaining lifespan. The period from 65 to 75 is the golden age of longevity. These are the 10 most important years that determine whether your life will be long or short. I have interviewed 10 elderly people living long lives around me and drawn 23 conclusions about longevity. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Don't rely on fortune telling. There is an old saying, 3 parts are determined by heaven, 7 parts by effort. This saying reminds us that life is not entirely dependent on fate, but largely on our efforts and choices. For elderly people, instead of wasting time and money on fortune-telling and vague predictions, focus on health and mental well-being. The elderly often worry about their health and future, but instead of putting their faith in divination, they should understand that longevity and health come from a healthy lifestyle, a balanced diet, regular exercise, and maintaining a calm spirit. When we live positively and happily, and build good relationships, we will feel more at peace than any horoscope could offer. Being proactive in our way of living is the key to a peaceful and healthy old age. 2. Move carefully and avoid climbing high. As we age, our bodies are no longer as flexible and resilient as before. Actions like climbing high or moving carelessly become very dangerous. Just one fall can lead to severe injuries, potentially resulting in being bedridden for the rest of one's life. This not only affects the elderly themselves but also burdens their children, who must spend more time and effort caring for them. To avoid these hidden risks, elderly people should pay attention to moving carefully, limit climbing or doing physically demanding tasks, and arrange a safe living space by removing items that could cause tripping, considering the use of assistive devices. These are important measures to help the elderly maintain stability. By doing so, they not only protect their health but also preserve their quality of life, living peacefully and avoiding unfortunate consequences. 3. Accumulate wealth for old age. As we grow older, the ability to earn money diminishes, and a stable income, like pensions or savings, becomes essential. Money is not only a means to sustain daily life, but also the key to ensuring safety and independence. When health declines, elderly individuals face many unexpected costs related to medical care, healthcare, and other support services. Without sufficient finances, they may struggle to access the best care services, leading to stress, anxiety, or feelings of abandonment. Particularly, financial independence helps the elderly avoid dependence on their children and minimizes conflicts over money within the family. Therefore, to live comfortably in old age, early financial planning is crucial, including asset accumulation, reasonable investments, and controlling spending, allowing the elderly to live peacefully without financial worries. 4. Don't overwork yourself. Health is invaluable, especially for the elderly. As the body weakens, fatigue and aches appear more frequently between the ages of 65 and 75. The ability to recover is not what it used to be, so continuing to do heavy labor or not resting properly can lead to serious health problems. Many elderly individuals still try to work as they did when they were younger, thinking they are still strong, but this is a mistake. Overexertion not only exhausts the body but also increases the risk of heart disease, joint problems, and even strokes. Elderly people need to recognize their limits, adjust their work habits, avoid heavy labor, and instead focus on light, moderate activities to protect their health. The balance between rest and activity is the key to helping the elderly live healthily and peacefully in their later years. 5. Don't be overly frugal. Elderly individuals, especially those who have experienced hardships, often tend to save to an extreme degree. They may have the habit of not wanting to waste food, even accepting leftovers, and are often hesitant to spend on themselves. However, old age is a time to indulge oneself and enjoy the fruits of a lifetime of labor. A good meal, comfortable clothing, or new experiences not only brings joy but also helps improve the quality of life. Overly frugal habits can sometimes be detrimental when elderly people do not meet their nutritional needs by eating old or stale food. Instead of being harsh on themselves, they should allow themselves to enjoy the good things they may not have had the opportunity to experience before. As the saying goes, money and possessions cannot be taken with you when you leave this world. Therefore, live fully, know how to spend wisely, and take care of oneself to have a joyful and fulfilling life in the later years. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 6. Keep your old home. A home is not just a place to live but also a repository of memories, providing a sense of safety and stability. For the elderly, living in a familiar house where they have spent their lives brings comfort and peace of mind. However, some are persuaded by their children to sell their homes to move in together or to trade for another house. This can lead to a loss of stability and make the elderly feel dependent and out of control in their lives. The freedom and peace of living in a familiar home help them maintain self-respect and a sense of independence. The saying, "Parents have their things," reminds us that independence in owning and maintaining a place to live is crucial for the elderly. Therefore, elderly individuals should carefully consider before deciding to sell their homes, and not rush simply due to advice from their children. They should think about their safety and future. 7. Don't buy unnecessary health products. Nowadays, there are many types of health products, from dietary supplements to home medical devices, widely advertised with promises of improving health or extending longevity. However, not all products deliver the expected results, and sometimes these products are just marketing gimmicks without real effects. Elderly people, when they see their health declining, are often easily swayed by advertisements and purchase expensive products in hopes of improving their health. However, spending too much money on unnecessary products can lead to waste and financial pressure. Instead of chasing new health trends, elderly individuals should focus on maintaining a healthy lifestyle, including a balanced diet, regular exercise, and frequent medical checkups. This will help them take care of their health effectively without having to spend excessively on dubious products. 8. Don't argue with your partner in old age. A life partner is the most important companion when children grow up and are busy with their own lives. The life partner becomes the one who shares and supports each other in daily life. Conflicts and arguments with a partner not only hurt feelings but also create unnecessary stress that affects health and mood. The emotional bond between spouses becomes even more precious as they age because they are not only companions but also a significant source of spiritual encouragement for each other. Instead of arguing, the elderly should learn to be understanding, tolerant, and share to preserve family happiness. The saying, "old couple," reminds us that when old age comes, the partner is the most important person who can accompany you to the end of life. Maintaining a harmonious relationship with your partner not only brings peace to both, but also helps ensure that the years of old age pass gently and happily. If you feel lonely, don't rush into remarriage. Remarrying in old age is a difficult decision and often not easy. Relationships in marriage after remarrying in old age are often unstable because both parties already have their own lives and habits. Additionally, conflicts about finances and children from previous marriages can cause tension. Remarriage can bring joy and companionship in some cases, but in many others, it can become a source of unnecessary trouble and stress. Instead of seeking a new marriage, the elderly can find comfort and joy from other social relationships such as friendships or with grandchildren to maintain a cheerful spirit and avoid marital troubles. The decision to remarry should be carefully considered based on understanding and genuine emotions, and it should not be rushed just because of feelings of loneliness. Don't go to nursing homes. Nursing homes can be an option for some elderly people needing special care, but they are not always the ideal environment when you are weak and no longer able to take care of yourself. Moving into a nursing home might be a solution. However, living there often makes the elderly feel lonely and isolated, and lose their sense of belonging to a family. The unfamiliarity with the surrounding environment and the feeling of having to rely on strangers can lead to depression and sadness. In contrast, living in a familiar home filled with memories and close to loved ones can provide a sense of safety and comfort. Moreover, life in a nursing home does not always guarantee the quality of care as expected, and many elderly people feel neglected or not adequately cared for. Therefore, if possible, arrange to live in a familiar home environment. Or, if it is necessary to have assistance, you can hire caregivers at home to ensure peace and the feeling of being loved. Relationships with colleagues and friends will fade when you retire. Relationships with colleagues and friends at work gradually become less significant. Life changes and everyone has their paths to pursue. This does not mean that those relationships are no longer valuable, but accepting that everything has its time and that separation is natural will help the elderly maintain a calm attitude and not cling to the past. Those who once accompanied us in work and study will gradually drift away as each person seeks new values and interests. Instead of feeling regret, the elderly should accept and focus on the most meaningful relationships in the present, such as family or close friends. This not only helps reduce stress but also enables the elderly to concentrate on building a peaceful and happy life in their later years. If you don't understand something, wait until tomorrow. When facing complex or difficult issues in life, older adults often feel anxious and stressed. However, sometimes immediate resolution is not the best option. The saying, "Where there's a mountain, there's a way," reminds us that it is not always necessary to rush to find solutions. Sometimes, all that is needed is time. Everything will gradually become clear, and a way out will be found. Keeping a calm mind and not letting pressure weigh down the body and affect health is essential. Instead of worrying too much, older adults should learn to relax, take breaks, and wait until their minds are clearer to make decisions. This not only helps reduce stress but also protects mental and physical health, making later life lighter and more comfortable. Don't flaunt your wealth to relatives. In life, money and wealth are always sensitive issues, especially among family members. When you have assets, excessive boasting can lead to jealousy and even cause conflicts and disputes. A reminder not to flaunt one's wealth, especially with relatives, is crucial. When finances are put on the table, family feelings can easily be altered, and close relatives may become distant or adopt negative attitudes. To avoid unnecessary troubles, the elderly should keep their assets private and only share them with those who genuinely need to know. This not only helps protect one's wealth but also preserves the purity of family relationships, preventing misunderstandings or conflicts. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Maintain good relationships with neighbors. There's an old saying that a good neighbor is worth more than gold. This reminds us that relationships with neighbors are incredibly important, especially for the elderly. As people age, they tend to stay at home more, and connections with the surrounding community become more important than ever. In emergencies, nearby neighbors may be the first to help you, from calling for emergency assistance in case of an accident to small daily life supports, like helping you when you forget your keys or bringing items when you are unable to carry them. Furthermore, having good relationships with neighbors creates a friendly living environment. 1. Building harmonious relationships. Building harmonious relationships helps create a more comfortable and joyful spirit. Instead of living in isolation or indifference, the elderly should cultivate positive connections with neighbors through small gestures like greetings and helping each other with little tasks. This not only brings a sense of safety but also helps reduce feelings of loneliness and increases joy in life. 2. Go outside. As we age, our health and physical flexibility decline, especially our ability to see clearly in low-light conditions. Moving around in the dark can lead to unwanted accidents, such as tripping, bumping into objects, or even severe injuries. Falls can result in broken bones, particularly in older adults, often leading to further health complications, including a loss of mobility. Therefore, seniors need to focus on ensuring adequate lighting when moving, especially at night or in the dark. If going out in the evening, ensure that you turn on lights or carry a flashlight to enhance visibility. This not only helps you avoid accidents but also creates a greater sense of safety while moving around. Paying attention to such small details will help seniors maintain their health and safety in daily life. 3. Don't compare yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others is natural, but if you continuously chase comparison, you will only feel disappointment and unhappiness. Everyone has their own life, different circumstances, and varying capabilities. As we age, unavoidable changes occur in health, finances, and living environments. Comparing yourself to those who seem to have better or healthier lives can make you feel sad and frustrated about yourself. Conversely, if you learn to accept what you have and seek joy from small things, you will find it easier to feel happy. Seniors should focus on the positive aspects of their lives, such as good relationships, achievements, and, most importantly, being grateful for what they have. Remember, happiness comes not from comparison but from appreciating and accepting your own life. 4. Don't overeat. The saying, "Eat just enough to be full, and live a long life," emphasizes the importance of controlling the amount of food you consume. Overeating forces the digestive system to work harder, leading to feelings of bloating, indigestion, and long-term issues with the stomach, liver, and cardiovascular health. Older adults often have decreased digestive capabilities, so overeating not only burdens the body but also increases the risk of digestive and heart-related diseases. Instead of overeating, seniors should eat just enough, divide meals into smaller portions, and choose nutritious, low-calorie foods to provide energy appropriately. Additionally, taking gentle walks after meals can aid digestion, reduce the risk of excess fat accumulation, and improve overall health. Controlling food intake and maintaining a healthy eating habit will help you live longer and healthier. 5. Avoid high-fat and high-salt foods. Diet has a significant impact on health, especially as you age. Foods that are high in oil, salt, or saturated fats can increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases, high blood pressure, and diabetes. Older adults typically have weaker digestive systems, so consuming too many heavy foods can lead to issues like bloating and indigestion, or exacerbate existing chronic conditions. Rather than eating indiscriminately, seniors should focus on balanced meals rich in vegetables, fruits, and nutritious foods. These foods are not only easier to digest but also provide essential nutrients to keep the body healthy. Additionally, drinking enough water and limiting alcoholic and sugary beverages is crucial. Seniors should listen to their bodies and adjust their diets accordingly to maintain better health in old age. 6. Don't let negative emotions harm your health. Negative emotions such as anxiety, anger, and sadness can seriously affect mental and physical health. Research shows that 95% of illnesses are related to poor mental states. When angry, the body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can damage the cardiovascular, nervous, and immune systems. Older adults often face many life changes, from declining health to loneliness and financial issues, making them susceptible to anxiety and depression. However, instead of allowing negative emotions to dominate, you need to learn to control your mood. Activities such as meditation, yoga, going outdoors, or participating in social activities can help you relax and improve your mood. Maintaining an optimistic and joyful spirit not only helps you feel more alive but is also the best medicine for preserving health in old age. 7. Exercise appropriately. Exercise is the best way to maintain physical and mental health, but not all forms of exercise are suitable for older adults. Choosing strenuous workouts can lead to unwanted injuries, especially as the body weakens. Seniors should seek gentle forms of exercise like walking, yoga, tai chi, or swimming to maintain flexibility and strength without harming joints or muscles. Most importantly, it is essential to maintain a regular exercise routine and not give up. Exercising not only improves cardiovascular health and blood pressure but also boosts immunity, reduces the risk of chronic diseases, and enhances mental well-being. Listen to your body and find the most suitable workout method, as this will help you live longer and enjoy a better quality of life. 8. Don't neglect health care. Health is the most valuable asset, especially as you age. When you are young, you may not pay much attention to health, but in old age, neglect can lead to serious consequences. Regular health checkups, a healthy diet, and consistent exercise are essential for maintaining a healthy body. Don't overlook small signs from your body, such as pain, fatigue, or unusual changes, as these may indicate underlying health issues. Healthcare encompasses not only physical health but also mental well-being. Pay attention to sleep, reduce stress, and always maintain an optimistic outlook. If you take good care of yourself, not only will you live longer, but your old age will also be of higher quality and happiness. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 9. Don't overlook sleep. Sleep is one of the most important factors for maintaining health, especially for older adults. The saying, "old people sleep poorly," reflects the reality that as people age, their sleep often becomes shorter and of lower quality. Lack of sleep can lead to health issues such as memory decline, fatigue, and stress, and can even increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases and strokes. Older adults often tend to wake up multiple times at night due to health issues such as nocturia, body aches, or anxiety. However, sleep remains an essential part of helping the body regenerate energy, recover health, and maintain a refreshed spirit. To achieve quality sleep, older adults should pay attention to their daily habits, such as maintaining a regular bedtime and wake-up time, avoiding overeating or drinking coffee or tea before sleeping, and creating a quiet and comfortable environment. Additionally, relaxing before bed by reading, listening to soft music, or practicing meditation can help the body fall into deeper sleep. Caring for sleep is also caring for one's mental and physical health. Don't forget that health is the most important asset. When we are young, we often overlook health, thinking it is a given. But as we age, our bodies are no longer as strong as before, and we realize that health is the most valuable asset that nothing can replace. Money, fame, and wealth all become meaningless if you don't have health to enjoy them. Health is the foundation that allows you to live a full, happy, and independent life in your later years. The most important thing when entering old age is to maintain a healthy lifestyle, which includes a balanced diet, reasonable exercise, regular health checkups, and always keeping a cheerful and optimistic mindset. Healthcare requires perseverance and a clear awareness of the body. Never ignore warning signs, no matter how small. No matter how much material wealth you have, health is what determines the quality of life. A healthy body will not only help you live longer but also enjoy life better. Investing in both physical and mental health is the wisest way to achieve a fulfilling old age. The points mentioned here are valuable lessons to help older adults protect their health and achieve peace and happiness. Avoiding mistakes will not only maintain health but also bring confidence and joy in the twilight years. I hope these shares will help you and others gain deeper insights into how to care for oneself in old age. Now, let's listen to the 3 important things to remember when aging and facing illness. Dear friends, when old age knocks on the door, what many fear is not only wrinkles or gray hair but the prospect of lying in bed, lonely and ill, without children by their side. More than anyone, older adults understand that health diminishes over time. What pains them more is the loss of autonomy and becoming a burden to their families. When their bodies no longer obey them, can they maintain an optimistic mindset to avoid putting extra pressure on their children? How can they live peacefully even in their weakest years? These questions weigh heavily on every older adult, no matter how strong they may seem. People fear old age, and the most terrifying sight is being bedridden for an extended period without children beside them. Once illness renders older adults immobile, the rhythm of the entire family will be disrupted. If the patient is often irritable or angry for no reason, the family atmosphere will shift from sadness to mutual blame, leaving everyone exhausted. Therefore, even when illness torments them, older adults should maintain a good mental state so as not to make their loved ones endure additional stress. Firstly, maintain an optimistic mindset while downplaying the importance of life and death. Death is a heavy topic, but when a doctor announces that a person's life is nearing its end, it's hard for anyone to remain calm. There are too many things in life that make us reluctant to let go. Distant places we've never been to, responsibilities and duties unfulfilled from the past. We experience enough ups and downs, successes and failures, love and hatred, joy and pain. This is life. Even if there is regret, all of it is an essential part of each person's life. Once we recognize this, we will no longer be fixated on gains and losses. When illness strikes, avoiding it is futile. Blaming is merely a sign of cowardice. A truly strong person will bravely face the challenges of illness, using an optimistic attitude to embrace life, much like the main characters in the movie, A Beautiful Dream. Whether it's an ordinary mechanic or a billionaire with immense wealth, when faced with an illness that makes living unbearable and is informed they don't have long to live, they make a daring decision to seek treatment and fulfill long-held dreams together. They skydive, race cars, and feel the love from their loved ones as their lives draw to a close. Their loved ones, though saddened, are comforted by knowing that their life's regrets have been fulfilled. The writer Kim Dong once said, "Life is a noisy show, and then one departs quietly. Those with a strong and optimistic mindset are like warriors in the struggle against fate. Whether in success or failure, they will never back down or lose heart. Secondly, cultivate a forgiving mindset and avoid binding others with morality. Older adults understand that they shouldn't force their children to care for them 24/7 during their illness. In today's fast-paced life with high pressure, very few can manage both work and take care of loved ones adequately. Not long ago, my fourth uncle was in a traffic accident and had to be treated in intensive care. His children were very worried, but no one had enough time to stay by his bedside. Once his condition stabilized, the family faced two options: hire a caregiver or take turns caring for him. However, my uncle angrily refused to hire anyone, believing it was unfilial for his children not to take care of him themselves. His son was forced to quit his job to care for him at the hospital daily. This created financial difficulties for his family. Understanding older adults will not demand constant care from their children but will try to manage on their own. If they have the means, they will hire help to maintain their daily lives. They will only ask their children for help when truly necessary, such as signing surgical paperwork, and will not force them to sacrifice too much. Thirdly, maintain a mindset of continuous self-improvement and learn to overcome oneself. People often say, live to old age, learn to old age. When a person keeps a sense of curiosity about the world and a desire to learn, they will never feel old. Illness and frailty may lead to despair, but if we know how to accept and enjoy life, we will no longer feel gloomy. Instead of merely existing day by day, let's learn to broaden the horizons of our lives. Allow yourself to live freely alongside loved ones while you can, and maintain a passion for living and collaboration. Be positive in treatment. Do not underestimate bedridden elderly people because, given the opportunity, they will try their best to get up or sometimes just enjoy the food, even if the doctors have forbidden them. The wise elderly will know how to utilize their final moments to say goodbye to their grandchildren and fulfill their uncompleted wishes. They will no longer fear death but accept it with a calm demeanor. When people grow old, they cannot escape the laws of birth, aging, illness, and death. What we need to do is to accept and face it with a strong will, leaving a part of freedom for the grandchildren to lessen their worries. In the final part of the program, we invite you to listen to the story of a mother. Mom, today I heard people say you are a prostitute. My friends also said so, but I don't understand what it means. She carried me on the bed. I began to feel the cold as if it were embracing my body. Last night, there must have been heavy rain. It must have secretly let some water in while I was drifting off and taking a nap. So, I couldn't join the rain to wash away the sorrow that was oozing all over me. Life for the lonely sometimes makes me feel even more miserable, but I am a person who doesn't want to care much about men. The term men sounds grand and responsible, which has brought me a lot of resentment. At the age of 14, I was looked at with disgusted, scrutinizing eyes. People always regarded me as a disgrace. They called my mother a prostitute. At first, I didn't understand what those words meant. I found it amusing, even mistaking it for something interesting. Mom, today I heard people say you are a prostitute. My friends also said so, but I don't understand what a prostitute is. That was my first question when I was 5 years old. I didn't know my innocence had inadvertently struck my mother's heart like burning lashes. Then, for a long time, I couldn't see my mother. She sent me to my grandmother's when I entered the first grade. If I remember correctly, during my school years, my mother never attended any of my parent-teacher meetings. I had no father. When I was little, I was so small that I occupied a position that didn't matter. Each time there was a parent meeting, my grandmother would release her anger on me. Once, when my results were terrible, my grandmother, already unhappy, poured scolding words into my ears. If you study, don't let people despise you. Do you want to be a disgrace? At that time, I gradually realized the pain in those words. Every time I spoke them, both my grandmother and my mother would feel tortured, as if writhing in the muddy, filthy mess of their own lives. I thought my grandmother didn't love me. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. My childhood was filled with little joy but a lot of misfortune. I thought so because, in the memories of my childhood, I seemed to have nothing to remember, not even one person. I was always silent, watching others play joyfully, sometimes craving my mother. Every month, she would send money back to my grandmother. I missed my mother a lot, but my grandmother only said my mother was working far away and couldn't come to visit. My mother lived alone. She must have been very sad. My simple mind couldn't imagine what my mother's job was. Then one afternoon, it must have been the 30th of Tet, my mother came to visit me. She brought a lot of gifts. Clothes, shoes, and even a big doll that could laugh. She also bought my grandmother a velvet scarf that she would only wear for special occasions. Suddenly, I hated the strong perfume smell that emanated from my mother. Listen to your grandmother, when you come back, your mother will buy gifts for you too, she said. My mother told me she loved me, but her voice was filled with tears. Once, she said I didn't look like her and didn't resemble my grandmother either. My grandmother used to be the beauty of the village, and so was my mother. I didn't take after them. Perhaps I resembled the person I fleetingly thought was my father. But the developing body of a teenage girl also attracted attention, like waiting for a prostitute's child. I cried and resented everyone who looked down on me. I promised myself that one day I would prove to them I was not like that. I was pure and could be even more than 1,000 people with an innocent, saintly appearance. I buried myself in studying hard so that heaven wouldn't disappoint me. My academic achievements quickly surpassed expectations. On the day I passed the entrance exam to a specialized school, I proudly returned home, with every smile piercing the ears of those who had ever called me a whore. So what? How many can compare to a whore like me? I was utterly satisfied. That day, my grandmother cooked all my favorite dishes to celebrate, but my mother was absent, which made me unbearably sad. Did my mother give birth to me just to let me go? A day as important as this, and she couldn't come back to share my pride. I hated my mother. The day I entered school was also the day she left forever. I was stunned when I heard the news that the coffin was taken away on a quiet, gray afternoon. I walked like a soulless person, my eyes burning and ready to bleed, watching them lower my grandmother into the grave. She had cried a lot since she found out my mother was sick. As for me, an ungrateful child, did I feel the pain of the one who gave birth to me? Both my grandmother and my mother wanted to conceal it. No one told me that my mother was suffering from the dreadful HIV disease, a fate that befell people like her. Everyone returned. I remained alone in the cemetery, crying. Finally, I could cry. I demanded my mother back. My bloody hands scratched at the soil that still smelled of my mother. I demanded her to come back to witness my success. I hadn't done anything to lessen the suffering for her. And who was my father? Who was that cruel man who, even when my mother left this world, still hadn't returned? I sobbed and cried, but the cold earth pitilessly answered me with its chilling silence. That night, I couldn't sleep. Looking at my mother's picture made me cry again. Suddenly, I thought of something and turned to shake my grandmother. "Grandma, why won't my mother let me know who my father is? I just want to know. I won't do anything. Grandma, please tell me." My grandmother remained silent for a long time before getting up and going to the cabinet. She took out a small trunk. I followed her trembling hands, and my heart froze. Perhaps that small trunk contained the secret of my life, a secret my mother never revealed to me before leaving this world. Late at night, only the sound of the trees groaning in the cold wind and the sobs of two lonely hearts, both full of tears, could be heard. My grandmother and I were gradually exhausted. My grandmother handed me a sealed envelope. I sat down in a daze, my eyes glued to the paper that still faintly carried my mother's folds. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 5 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Dear Fa Lu, my good daughter, don't be angry with your mother. Your mother knows she is a mother who isn't much different from others. She could not give you a complete family. She doesn't dare to ask for your forgiveness. There was a time when she thought her life was no longer worth living, but it was you, Fa Lu, who gave her enough courage to move forward in this world. You are the most meaningful thing your mother has ever achieved in this life. She was once very worried and thoughtful, but in the end, she also had enough courage to decide to give birth to you. Your mother knows your silent childhood. She was also very afraid every time she faced your gaze. But do you know? God has also been very cruel to your mother. What fault does a 17-year-old girl have to be torn apart by 3 men? Your mother could have crushed those bastards, but she couldn't do anything. After that, your mother knew she was pregnant. She was very scared. Who would understand that she was just a victim, a rape victim? For her, life was over. She still hadn't once loved, hadn't known the kiss of first love, the longing of a dreamlike love, yet she was only filled with panic and silence and pain as her belly grew larger. She could not hide it any longer. Everyone thought your mother was a loose girl. My dear, your mother is innocent, isn't she? Mom also spat in her mother's face, and she wasn't strong enough to stand up. Mom followed others to the city to do marketing, and she fell into a world of depravity, a world where no one needed to know who she was. What did she want there? It was only the language of the flesh, of money. Life has drifted until now. I still strive and write these lines for you, my child. This is how your mother is. If you look down on me or feel ashamed of me, I have no complaints, because you have the right to more than what I can give you. My daughter, please try to study and take care of yourself. You know, Mom dreams of one day witnessing you in a wedding dress, happy beside the one you love. But that will never happen. My fate is limited to this. Don't cry for me, because I only feel happy knowing that my daughter is smiling. When you smile, you look beautiful. Remember to take care of Grandma, my child. I am an unfilial daughter who has never been able to repay anything to her. I feel guilty towards Grandma and you. I love you, my child. I am a person embraced by Grandma, while outside, the wind howls all night long, and for many days after that. Thank you all for staying with us on this profound exploration of life's journey and the unique challenges and joys that come with aging. We've discussed invaluable insights on how to live independently, protect one's health, and cultivate relationships that bring fulfillment and support. Aging is not just about growing older. It's about growing wiser, maintaining dignity, and finding peace in each stage of life. From learning to avoid habits that silently shorten our lives, to understanding the importance of financial planning, meaningful relationships, and self-reliance. Each of these lessons serves as a guide to a fulfilling and resilient old age. The wisdom shared here reminds us all of the value of taking care of ourselves not only for our well-being but for the well-being of our loved ones, allowing us to stay active, positive, and at peace in our later years. We'd love to know, what have you learned today that stands out to you? Is there a specific insight you plan to put into practice in your own life or share with someone you care about? Please let us know in the comments below. We believe that every shared experience adds to the collective wisdom of this community and can inspire others on their journeys. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support allows us to continue creating content that encourages and uplifts. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to embarking on more meaningful discussions with you. Until next time, take care of yourselves and cherish each moment, because every day is a chance to live better, with purpose and gratitude.